Alright, so here we are back with Greench and Max. I did some grinding, got up to level 39. I also updated Zeal and then made a few changes in selections, so some things might look a little bit different, like the names showing up on how they con for me and stuff like that. And this percentage over Max's health here, showing his health. So with 39, we actually get some cool stuff. We've got some new spells. So I did go ahead. I already cleaned out, I already sold out all of my inventory. I had come in here into town with quite a lot of stuff. I was I was walking pretty slowly. I'm still using all regular backpacks. I don't have any weight reduction bags, so that's a problem. Not a lot of weight reduction bags drop out here in the swamp. So maybe someday Greench will get some of those cool toys, but not today. I do still need to bank my rest of my coin and grab some more food and water before I head back out. But I did go ahead and sell everything off. Cleared my inventory, and I picked up my new spells. So we look here. We've got a lot of good stuff. So we got a healing upgrade. So I already put that on the bar. So to heal myself, that light healing was getting pretty useless at this point. It was good for kind of after combat to level out my mana and health to just kind of sit and regain health, but it wasn't saving me in a fight for sure. I got a few other things, a couple more buffs. So we've got Spirit of Monkey, Spirit of Ox, which are going to be great. So more buffs to keep up on myself and Max while we fight. Ox is an upgrade to Spirit of Bear, which was stamina before, but now we've got Spirit of Ox, which gives us a bit more stamina, which will be really good. As well as Monkey, which gives us some dexterity, and that will help with procs for Max's buffs. And we got a couple of things. So we got Levitate as well, Endure Magic, and Cancel Magic. And then over here in the pet front, we've got an upgrade to Max. So we've got the Spirit of Yekin, which I haven't cast yet. This is still the previous version. Spirit of Scorpion is the new buff for Max, his self buff. And then we've got a new heal. So all of those things are already on the bar. And then we've got a new buff for Max, which is this Yekin's Quickening, which looks like it's a 12 or a 13 minute to 15 minute buff that increases his attack speed, strength, AC, and attack. I haven't tried using this yet, so I'm not exactly sure how it works out, but it is another buff that we will keep up on Max. So quite the power jump this time with Max, because not only did we get the new pet at 39, which they're always very strong at their new level, or at the level that you get them, but also we've got, a better buff, better heals, and we've got that new buff for him as well, and we've got another buff in the dexterity buff that we can put on him. So Max is going to be quite powerful. I think the plan is going to be to go ahead and get him summoned, get him set up, go ahead and get more food and water, bank some of my coins, and head back into Lower Guck. And I think it's time to, actually, we'll go into Upper Guck and we'll swing by the Shin Lord and see what's going on there. Depending on how I'm feeling, I might kind of do an off-camera camp there for a little while, or I can do a time-lapse camp to try to see if we can get that Ghoulbane. When I was last there, I killed the Shin Lord a few times with no luck on the Ghoulbane, and then someone else was camping it. And when I checked back in, the placeholder wasn't spawning anymore, so I wasn't getting a placeholder or a Shin Lord. They just weren't spawning at all. So I don't know if that's broken. I reported it on the Discord, or if something new is going on there that I don't understand. But we'll check back in there and see what's going on. If it's looking like something we can camp for a little bit, maybe we'll give it a few rounds. See if we can get a shot at the Ghoulbane for our quest from Minesweeper. If not, then I think the plan is to head into Lower Guck and start looking at what some targets could be to go after as far as mobs or named mobs that can drop loot. One that I looked at, I haven't looked too deep yet, but I know the Minotaur Elder can drop a couple of items that might be good for us. So we'll kind of look at that as we get down there. Worst case, we will find a new spot. Probably that entryway is going to be a little too weak for us with these upgrades to Max, so we'll move in a little deeper. Likely, as with every time that I try to change locations or change to a new camp or new zone, we'll probably die a couple times and have some runbacks to deal with, but we'll see what we can do. So the goal might be to get in there once we get into Lower Guck and get a little bit of a padding into 39. I'm just barely into 39 right now. I'm at 0% experience into 39. So before we do that, let's go ahead and let's go and dismiss Max, and let's bring in the new Max. And I'm trying to memorize it instead of cast it. Here we go. This will be our latest pet at 39. Excellent. And we've got his new buff. Although we'll rebuff this later anyway, but got the green, kind of the poison look to it. And I am curious what this looks like when we cast it. This quickening. We'll throw this on him real quick too. Nice thing is we do have Spirit of Wolf now, which is excellent. Okay, so that takes a while to come back around. So let me run and get some food and water and clear out my coins, and then we'll check back and throw that buff onto Max, and then we'll head up to Guck. And I'll be right back. Okay, we're back, and I dumped off a lot of my extra coins, just kept a little bit on myself, and I filled up on food and water, and I went ahead and grabbed my Malin's Magical Concoction. I haven't used these experience potions yet at all, or if I did, I used 1 or 2 charges back in the early days, and I forgot about it. But I have several. This particular one only has 5 charges. Since Greench has been around a long time, he's gotten all the additional ones instead of just one big one that everybody gets today. So I've got 4 of these in the bank, 4 of various sizes, like ranging from like 22 charges down to these 5. So I think my plan's going to be to go ahead and use up these 5. I found when I leveled up my Bard all the way to 60, I ended up with some extras because I waited a long time to use them. And I know since I'm mostly solo, since I'm completely solo with Greench so far, anyway, that I'm not really going to probably end up in a situation where I'm looking for a group that's really pulling fast and doing a lot of experiencing to use them. I might as well just use them on my way during my journey. So as soon as I settle into a camp, and I know I'm going to be pulling there for a while, a couple hours or whatever, an hour, since the charge lasts an hour, I'll go ahead and use it. And even if it's not the most optimal way to use it in the game, I don't really care. But I think it will, still get to use it, still make some levels, and get to move the experience needle a little bit faster. Not that I'm in a hurry. It's been a really cool journey. So when we come back, I wanted to see what that buff looked like, so I'm going to cast that buff real quick on Max here. Yeah, not even a spell effect, okay. But now he has the quickening, and if we look at it, it does say it lasts 127 to 150 ticks. So I'm at 39, so it should last 12 minutes and 42 seconds. We'll just keep an eye on it, and I'll add it back in as needed. Much like his Spirit of the Scorpion, which I just have to watch manually. I'm going to throw Shrink back on here because as soon as we get into Guck, we're going to want to Shrink. And I will rebuff us both with Spirit of Wolf and we'll be off. Running that same run you've seen me run 1,000 times on this series from our beautiful home city here. All the way up the kind of right-hand side of the zone. Going to Guck. So, where we'll head. Alright, we're back here. We just zoned into Upper Guck. That having Spirit of the Wolf makes that run so much nicer than it used to be back in the day. So we'll keep going here. So like I said, once we get in here, we're going to shrink. It just makes it moving through here so much easier. Although I did find that when I was shrunk and I was overloaded, the little tiny bumps in the floor, I actually couldn't jump over them very well. Oh, I'm so fast with Spirit of the Wolf and Shrink. So there's these places, like when I swam down this hallway and had to jump up out of this water, I actually had a hard time because I was so heavy that jump wasn't really working. And I was shrunk, so I was tiny. I remember back in the day, we've died in this water a few times. Killed these crocs. Apparently I can't get out of the water there either. There we go. Little messy view to make that happen, but we are going to head down, and I can just run past most of this now. Oh, somebody's here. Camping that spot. I know that spot well. I wish you luck. We're going to head all the way down to the Shin Lord first, as I mentioned. Once we get out here, occasionally these guys still like to attack me, so I just got to be on the lookout. Make sure Max is keeping up here. He does have Spirit of the Wolf. But most of these guys I can just zip right past. Yeah, these little ledges in the floor, like this one here. When I was shrunk, so like this bigger side, you have to kind of jump up if you're shrunk, and I couldn't jump because I was overloaded. I actually had a hard time getting out of here the other day. So we're back here again. I think in last video or one of the latest videos, I walked up here and I said, you know, I wonder if these guys are still aggro. So we're about to find out again. Yeah, looks like at 39 I can finally just, nope, I spoke too soon. About to say it looks like at 39 I can run past, but Max is a little bit lower. So he didn't quite get to run past. So what I'll do, I'll go ahead and kill this guy and we will buff up and then go in a little more careful, just to be sure. No sense in dying in our first 10 seconds being back down here. So we've got these two on us already. Let me grab our next buffs. We've got our new Spirit of Ox and our new Spirit of Monkey. And then I think with those, we're still going to want Turtle Skin and Spirit Strength as well. So that's what those are our full set of buffs, I think. And then I'll just have to keep an eye on Max to make sure that he's still got his self buff up on him. And if it really takes that long to reset every time, maybe I'll just keep it on the bar somewhere. Oh, I just remembered. I actually do have an upgrade to Tainted Breath also. We get a new damage over time spell that I think just directly replaces Tainted Breath. I'll have to look at it. But we have to go out to Stragic out in the swamp to pick it up. And I meant to do that before I came down here, but I forgot. So we are going to go in here anyway, since we're already here. And we're going to take a look at the Shin Lord area and see what's going on. If before we go into Lower Guck, though, I will write myself a note here to remember to go out to Stragic and get that new damage over time. Now, having said that, I'm almost guaranteed to forget and get all the way down to some camp that I want to do and figure out that I'm missing that. Well, I'm going to run myself out of mana here with all these buffs. Yeah, I won't be able to get a turtle skin on Max yet. So we're going to sit. We're going to med up, get back up to full, throw that last buff on Max, make sure we're good, and then we'll clear our way in. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up the PQDI, and I'm going to see what kind of camps we could look at in Lower Guck to maybe chase after. Like I said, I know the Minotaur Elder is one, and that's not too far from where we've already been camping. Might be cool to work our way in there. I'll have to look at the levels of things. At 39, I can probably take a lot of the stuff on that side of Guck without going too deep. And ideally find a spot to kind of sit and work on some more levels. So we're going to met up and we'll be back. We'll go from there. Hey, editing Sigil here. So I lost the game audio from this next section. I just threw in some creepy ambience in the background. So I hope you enjoy. All right, we are full mana and ready to move forward a little bit. Let me double check. Yeah. We've got a lot of buffs going nowadays, but Max looks like he still needs me to hit him with that new buff. And again, I don't know how long it sticks around for. I'm learning. I have never had this kind of buff before. And I think the plan is just going to be to kill everything on the way in. I don't want to mess around with, you know, anything being behind me or messing around like that. So we're just going to kind of keep our mana up and let... Oh yeah, this guy from behind. Okay. And most of it, just let Max murder these guys. Shouldn't be too bad. A few kills and we will be in there. There's one down, then we get this roamer down. I'll back up over here so I don't pull the other guy. Yeah, make our way in, see what we see. Hopefully, I'm hoping that the placeholder is spawning again. That was a really weird situation where it just wasn't happening at all. Already I'm thinking shrink. didn't take long. Maybe one of the best spells we've gotten overall for inside of these hallways is shrink. As Max keeps getting bigger, he keeps taking up more of the hallway. And Greench being in the good fighting shape that he is, very trim for a troll, you know? Doesn't always fit around past Max. Yeah, this little clear is nothing new. It's this guy, it's the roamer that's going around the circle inside, it's the two guys, the shaman and the warrior past that. Done it many times now. Yeah, you can see, like I mentioned, I made some different selections in Zeal, and now I can see like health percentages on their bars and stuff like that. Just a couple little things I thought were pretty cool. So I left them in there. I am going to loot all. Oops, right into the water. I am going to loot all until I fill up my inventory. Anything we can get money for. I'll start trashing stuff later. Let's see, this guy's probably on this side now. Yeah. I'm mostly just going to be putting slow on these and letting Max do all the hard work. You can see the percentage there. Yeah, Max is just rocking their world anyway. This guy's healing himself, and I think he's probably barely in line. Oh, no, he's actually not in line of sight for this one. I thought maybe this other shaman was healing him too. Let's see if I see him start casting down here, but... Oh, sure enough, he is casting. Huh. Guess he has that much range. Alright, we'll get these guys next. We still have a Spirit of Wolf, which is nice. I'm zooming around in here. Oh, that shaman's getting rocked. Nice. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember if Slam also initiated my kick, or put my kick on cooldown. And I do remember now that it does. That's why it's not on my bar. Alright. Get through here quickly. Slow up on these guys. Check on these buffs. So that quickening is still there, so... I was kind of worried because I cast it when we came in, but I must have taken more time than the 12 minutes or whatever that it stayed up. And it had dropped off by the time I got up to full mana, so... But it seems to be working as advertised. We'll clear out these guys, and then we'll go check out the room there. See what we see. So if the placeholder's still not spawning, or something's going on with that, I'll show you what I'm talking about. You'll see there, if it's how it was before, there's no mob in that spot at all. If that's still happening, we will turn around and we'll head back out of here. We're going to run all the way out of the dungeon and go to Stragic and pick up our new poison spell. And then come back in and we'll just head for Lower Guck. Lower Guck's where the experience is going to be. This is just seeing if we can get our hands on a Ghoulbane. Alright, we need this one. I'll tell you though, Max is crazy. Just, it's crazy how much they go up. The pet goes up in power every time I get a new pet spell. He is just tearing through these now, and it was not that it was a huge fight at 36, but these guys, they don't even have a chance to run because he's just tearing them apart. Before, it was always concerned that they would run. Yeah, see, oh, maybe someone's in here now. There might be someone camping this. I don't know who send it is, because there's only one spawn up. But before, what I could see was this guy, the guy that's up here, he would be up, right? And then the guy kind of towards the back of the room would be up. But where the placeholder is for the Shin Lord, it just wasn't spawning anything there. And I killed a few rounds to see if maybe it was like skipping a spawn or something was going on. And it makes me wonder if it's like broken or if it's pushed into a wall. Like, is he in this wall or something? But you would get the guy that we just got who would stand here. You'd get the guy that kind of stood back here. But nothing in the Shin Lord spot. So I don't know what's happening with that. I am going to sit here long enough to watch a respawn cycle and just see what happens. Because there's also a chance that whoever, I don't know who send it is, he's anonymous, but if he would have to, it'd have to be that guy because no one else is high enough level to just kind of come in here and pick one guy. Okay, so there's this one's back up. So likely somebody came through and killed these before. We'll pull this guy. And those were the two that I've seen there the last few days, maybe the last week. I haven't been seeing any placeholder for the Shin Lord, the Shin Knight that's usually there or anything. So we'll see. But I'll hang out in this room. I'll probably just kind of fast forward through it. If we get all the way back to where that first guy killed respawns, then we'll just we'll call that good. Head out and get our spell and come back into Lower Guck. So let us wait out this respawn timer. Alright, looks like the guys outside have respawned, so we should be seeing a respawn here any second. Still didn't get anything in the spot for the Shin Lord, so I'm guessing it's still not spawning or still broken. I did see that the Yekin's quickening on my... Yekin's quickening on my pet already wore off, so it is definitely worth just keeping it on the bar and casting it as needed. Which if I'm done fizzling, I will cast now and be ready for the respawn in here. So it's looking like, I mean, unless, yeah, so that's the one we killed when we first got here. So we're not getting any respawn on the Shin Lord placeholder here. I don't know anything about that. Maybe something's out, information's out there that it's not spawning for some reason on purpose. I have not heard anything like that, so I'm not sure why we're not seeing it. But it definitely is not spawning, not respawning. So we'll have to check back another time. I don't, you know, if I've tried targeting around here, like just Shin to see if I get something. Thinking maybe he fell through the floor, or I don't know. So he's not home either way. I'm not sure where he went to, but right now we can't fight the Shin Lord. So let's see if we can run past these guys. Wondering how many of these I can run past without. Okay, so these guys want to fight. Sure thing. We will give them a fight. And then we'll just, we'll try to run past the other guys too. I'm sure we'll have to fight some more, but we'll run our way out of here, go all the way back out of Lower Guck, and run and grab that spell from Stragic. I'll probably time-lapse that or accelerate it. I don't know, something like that. Just to, oh, let's get on the Shaman so he's not healing. Here, I'll put my current dot on him. So I'll probably just time-lapse it, running out of here, running out to Strag, grab that spell, and then come back in, because we want to get to the part where we are in Lower Guck. And I've been staying near that one entrance of Lower Guck, but I think the plan today is going to be to kind of walk it forward a little bit. I know there's a couple places where I have to actually, I think, take down 2 or 3 guys together. And I haven't really tried those fights yet. Alright, we've got 2 of them on us. Fair enough. These are probably the last 2 that will actually fight us on our way out of here. Last 3, since I stayed long enough to get that other guy. It's alright, like with Max's upgrade, these guys are really no challenge at this point. It's ridiculous how much stronger he is. Way to go, Max. Tear him up. He's just doing huge chunks. When he gets the proc, the Scorpion proc, it's crazy. And as long as I keep the mana up to keep the his other buff on him, the quickening, he's just awesome. I haven't actually tested yet this heal on myself, the new heal. So let's see. Oh, it actually moves my health bar a chunk. So we were getting to the point where the old heal, light heal, wasn't actually even, it was barely moving the health bar. It was like a couple %. This is good stuff. All Alright, we still have Spirit of the Wolf, because we did all this fast enough, so we have a couple more minutes left on it. 4 minutes left. Let's just run on out of here. Did I turn wrong? No, gotta go this way. Confused myself for a moment. I was thinking I was coming up from over here, because that's where I come from Lower Guck, but I was coming up from the Shin Lord. We should be able to just blast by all these guys. Spent a lot of hours killing all these guys, so... Alright, we're gonna breeze through here. Oh, looks like maybe... my pet's on something? Oh, did I train this guy? Oh god. I don't think I necessarily trained him. I might have had like one guy on me. I think he thought I was training him because I came running through so fast. So, Cheese Lord, I'm sorry if I trained you or you thought I was training you. It was not my intention. Or maybe he was headed out anyway. That looked like he... It looked like he was in trouble. Oh, there's that was that Send It person who I said might have killed... they're also greens. Okay, they're not the one that... they couldn't have killed the Shin Lord. Well, hopefully I didn't mess up those people's day. I didn't think I was actually aggro on anything, but then I looked and my pet did attack something. So I must have aggroed at least one. And when I ran past those guys, Cheese Lord and Send It, they probably thought, oh god, this guy's coming with a whole train of stuff. Meanwhile, I could have definitely just turned around and killed everything that was following me. So, my apologies to them. I did not mean to make their day a little risky or stressful. Alright, here's Stragic. I was going to time-lapse this, but then it got a little exciting, so here we are. So I will go ahead and... I know he's not the best guy to sell stuff to, but I am going to go ahead and sell him some of this junk out of my inventory that is just super cheap. Just to clear it again. And then we will grab our new spell off there and get it memmed and get going. So we're looking for... I think it's Infectious Cloud. Is that 39? No. I forget which one it is actually, so I'll have to do a little bit of searching here. Envenom Breath. Here it is. Envenom Breath, Beastmaster 39. So that's the one we want. Venom Breath, 13 plat. We'll buy that guy. We'll sell off the rest of these real quick. Alright. Let me get this memmed and out on my bar, and we will head back into Lower Guck. Okay, so I have tried a couple of times now to memorize this spell, but because I'm sitting up here, the mobs from below keep aggroing on me and running up the hand and attacking me. So I'm going to run us back over to the entrance to Guck, somewhere a little bit safer where we're not going to get attacked, and then I'll memorize the spell there. So I'll check back in a moment. All right, let's give this another try. I think it's probably safe here to memorize it. So then the only other spell that I'm missing from level 39 is Summon Companion, which I think it's Summon Companion. It's one of those, something like that, which is, I understand, sold at the EC Tunnel. I'd have to look again. Summon Companion seems right, but maybe I'm wrong. Sold at the EC Tunnel, and I can't leave the swamp to go get it. But I think it's all right. I haven't really come across the situation down here that I've needed to summon Max to me. So I think we'll be all right. We've got what we need, but if I ever get it, that'll be the spot here for it. Alright, looks like we're actually going to make it through this time, which is cool. And then I'm just going to replace Tainted Breath with that right on my bar, because if I look, I believe this is poison-based. And it seems like it would be a direct replacement for Tainted Breath, which is also poison-based. So it's not like it's a disease versus a poison or something. Alright, let's just go ahead and Spirit a Wolf before we go in. Although I just did it, so we should be fine. But hey, better safe than sorry. And the longer it can last, the better. We're going to lose some other buffs, but we'll rebuff once we get down to where we want to camp, or to where we want to start, into Lower Guck. Alright, let's get shrink going again. A little easier to move through. Yeah, I'm kind of sad about that whole Shin Lord thing. I would love to take a, I would love to spend some time there trying to get it again, especially now that I'm 39. It should just be an easy camp. But no luck, so, oops. So I guess we're waiting on that. The Minesweeper, I'm not giving up on it. I just gotta wait for it to get fixed or figure out what's going on with it. We will head back down. Minesweeper did comment in the last video and say that the quest is still on, so I was questioning that because it had been months since I posted anything or played any Greench. And we're still on for that. He's still watching, so appreciate that, my friend. Alright, so instead of turning and going to the Shin Lord, we are going to head straight ahead and make our way over to the entrance to Lower Guck. And there might be a couple of guys along here that want to attack us also, but hey, remember that time I fell in the water over here and died? Yeah. Might be a couple guys that want to attack us on the way, but we'll make it to the zone line and zone in before it matters. Yeah. Oh, when I was running out with no, when I was shrunk and I was fully encumbered, this is one of those. I couldn't go up. I couldn't make it up there. It's pretty funny. All right, here we are, Lower Guck. Shrink again. We are going to get buffed up, and we're going to push forward in here a little bit. We'll do this. Oops, I actually didn't mean to get rid of... actually that works because I can do 2 new buffs at a time. So we'll do... The Ox still has some time, so we'll do Monkey and Strength. Those started. So we'll get buffed up. I'll med up to full. And then we will start clearing our way down. I'm going to go down the ramp and take a right, I think. We'll pull up the map and look at it. I mean, the map's up, but we'll take a good look at it and decide the path. And I think the goal right now, I haven't gone and done any more research, but I think the goal right now is to head for the Minotaur Elder. I believe they are 34, 33. I can do a little looking up on that, but see if we can make it down into that area. I think that's where we'd want to set up shop to do some work for a while. We'll go ahead and redo Ox also. Got an extra buff now, so it does eat into our mana, and they're all new, so a lot of them are new, so they're costing a little bit more. So a little more mana management that has to happen here, but it will be all right. It does last, Ox does last 45 minutes now, which is super nice. Ooh, I wonder if I'm gonna have the mana to even. I'm gonna have to med just a little bit to get this last buff out. There we go, perfect. I'm probably almost exactly out of mana. Yeah, it costs 60, so. Okay, we're going to med to full, and I'll check back in a second. and then we'll get going. All right, we are buffed up. We are meted up to full, and I did just cast my Yekin's Quickening onto max. We actually had someone run up here with a train and had to zone out and zone back in and stuff, but we are ready to go now. So we're going to work our way down. I think the plan is, if I zoom in on the map here a little bit and I bring up labels, we can see the Minotaur Elder down here, which if we follow this kind of around, will take us a little bit of working to get to. So we're going to come down this way, work our way through this, kind of over, I guess, into this area to get to the Minotaur Elder. I don't remember if this is like invisible wall or what, but we're going to figure it out. It's been a little while since I've made my way around here. We're not going to get back into all these named yet, but I think it will be fun to see what we can do. So there's the assassin and stuff up here. I don't think I can solo that little camp yet. We'll make our way down. We're going to come down the passage here. We'll take a right. We'll go over. We'll dip through that water, and we'll come up into this area. Now, there's a lot of stuff to fight out here, so we may be able to just find ourselves a good camp also to grind out another level. But for now, let's just start making our way down the ramp and headed that way. So we're going to fight some of these same guys we've already been fighting and work our way down. And these are still light blue. I've been here for a few levels now, and oh, my new wow, my new dot spell doesn't quite want me to cast it. So okay, that might be something we have to look at, and maybe just go back to the old one for now. Try to skill up a little bit. Let's see, what does that use? That is Conjuration. And I'm betting Conjuration is quite low. Oh, actually, it's not too bad. I mean, well, compared to, what it could be, it's bad. But I'm going to switch back to my previous damage over time, which was the Tainted Breath? Yeah, which is much weaker, but I just spent that whole mana bar trying to cast that, so we're not gonna do that. Max is much stronger than he was last time we were here, so we'll let Max do a majority of the damage, and we'll just add the little bit that we can. All right, we got one. We're gonna pull it back up to the top here. All right, get on a mix. So for this one, I'll just put Drowsy on him, and then I'll just let Max beat him up. I'll try to get some mana back during the fight. So I fought the front one here, and then the two at the bottom, and then kind of the roaming ghouls. So I fought this front one up here, and then the two down at the bottom, and then the roaming ghouls. I fought this front one up here, and then the two down at the bottom, and then the roaming ghouls a little bit. That's been how I've been leveling up lately, so we haven't gone much beyond that. I did go all the way down to the left at one point and kind of clear down there because someone was camping the top. Ooh, that heal was awesome. I took Max to like full health. A lot of mana cost though, but that's where we're at. Much stronger, but higher mana cost. So we haven't really gone down to the right at the bottom of this passageway at all. So it's going to be a new adventure with Greench here. Now I've been down in Lower Guck before many times over the years. It has been a while. The last time I actually came down into Lower Guck, where I was kind of camping any sort of thing, was recently when I was leveling up my bard. I came down to get the mask and the bag, and had a good time. But even with that, all I did was go straight to the assassin camp and camp it. I didn't really do much down here. No exploring, no running around. And with the bard, I was able to invis, and then kind of use the lull song to just get past things. So it was pretty easy. before that, the last time I spent a lot of time in Lower Guck was actually when I was playing the Hero's Journey, THJ. When I was doing, at first I did just a monk for a long time. Just got him up to 30-something, 40-something, and then was getting some AAs and stuff with just the monk class, because I wanted to see if I could do Nagafen and Lady Vox with just one class with a lot of AAs, which I ended up doing. That was a good time. I didn't record any of my THJ time. I think I ended up recording a little bit of it, but I didn't make anything out of it. And then they started having all the, the trouble, so I just didn't want to deal with being a part of any of that. So I just kind of dumped all that footage. But I did spend a bunch of time down here. But that was a little bit different. One, I was a monk with Feign Death, which is, you can be pretty unsafe with your pulls and your play if you have Feign Death. And two, in the Hero's Journey, we're all very overpowered. So when you're at the appropriate level, but you have 100 alternate advancement points, it's a bit ridiculous. So much different experience than what we're going to have here with Greench and Max going down there. Just keep an eye on Max's buffs here. He's got a huge amount of buffs, which is awesome. Oh, but he's missing... It looks like he's missing the Spirit of Scorpion, which is his proc buff. What does that cost me? Oh, that's not too bad. Now, the heal does quite a bit of his health, so I can hold off on it until he's a little bit lower. Before, I was kind of casting it when he was about halfway. But I can wait a little bit longer now. I think at the bottom, at the end of this hallway, if I remember correctly, there's like a triple pull, which we can probably handle if they're about the same level as these guys with a little work. But we'll have to really make sure that we're full mana, we've got heals ready, and we're ready to run if needed. Yeah, my heal fizzled a couple times too. Yeah, that's quite a good heal. Yeah, so there's this one, and then there's either a 2 or a 3 pull. I'm actually going to back Max up around this corner so we have some running room. Wizards can be dangerous because they can nuke the hell out of you. Maybe we'll back up against this corner for a minute, and we will mana up before we go forward. Everything down here is on an 8-minute respawn, so we'll try not to get respawns before we move forward, but let's go peek at what we have to do here. Okay, it looks like just a 2 pull, and it's 2 knights, so that may not be so bad. I am going to park here, and I am going to get some mana back. I don't think that ghoul from that side roams all the way down here. Also, I think someone's fighting it anyway. I think we have a few minutes until this respawns. I'm going to med up while we wait to see if we get that respawn. And we'll check back in a minute. Alright, so I was wrong in that Shin Knight does roam down here, or this is the one we killed previously on this side, and now he's respawned and moved down the ramp after us, so we may be getting this respawn right on top of us here soon. I'm actually looking at mana and buffs, and I'm wondering if it makes sense to re-clear the spawn down here and the wizard spawn, go in with a little more mana into those fights, because we kind of came down a little bit low. And then go ahead and take down on the two at the end of the hall here. Now, once we take these 2, we've got to swim under, and there's guys in that room where you pop up too, which is going to be a challenge. What I might do is put Max on guard back here, swim out, pull 1, and then try to swim back here. That way, even if it goes poorly, I can just run up the ramp and get out. And I'm not struggling to swim and everything else if things are already going poorly, and it gives a lot of running room. The thing is going to be doing that within the timing of that 8-minute respawn of all these guys. So the increased respawn and the increased experience down here are wonderful, but it's also it's a double-edged sword there where you've got to be able to move forward and keep your camp clear with only 8-minute respawn. I think the normal respawn is like 20 minutes or 29 minutes or something like that. Just a normal EQ. So it's much longer. And the 8 minutes is really great for grinding, but it's a bit rough if you're trying to clear your way to somewhere and you need a little more breathing room. So we're getting up here on mana. Max did lose his quickening buff, so I will go ahead and hit him with that again. Which I think is going to be a pretty normal, like regular thing we're going to have to update. And this is going to take a lot of mana. 200 mana, it looks like. So he's ready for the respawn. We're still gaining on mana here overall, so it's all right. So it might end up being that we get in there, we get back. If we can clear the room under the water, around or past the water, and we can get over there and start making our way through, we'll try to find ourselves a spot where we can safely sit, like we found over by the Shin Lord area. That way we have a kind of a base of operations to clear the area to until we find another one. So that'll kind of be the goal, is be looking for those safe spots where we can move through. Now I know there's a safe hall in here and there's other spots like that, but I'm just talking about little corners where things are not going to spawn on top of me and try to kill us. So I believe up there we're going to run into bats, we're going to run into other things, and those might actually be great for grinding out some experience. We'll have to see. We are getting low on Spirit of Wolf, and we're going to start needing all of these other things again. So I will go ahead and get Spirit of Monkey ready. And I'm hitting pretty high on mana, so if we fill up mana, I'll go ahead and rebuff Spirit of Monkey. I guess I could have tried those two guys at the end of the hall. I was just worried we were getting towards the end of the... I exited too soon before it actually saved it. I was just worried we were getting towards the end of the respawn timer, and I didn't want to cause myself a mess and have to train out the zone. What does Monkey cost me? I'm at 92. About 4%. Okay. Well, more if I fizzle. New spells, new problems. All right, I see the guys at the top of respawn. And I think there's just one right here, right where we're sitting. And there was the wizard around the corner. So here in the next couple minutes, we should see, we should get this spawn. Looks like next would be Spirit Strength, but I want to space them out a little bit. Spirit Strength. We'll let it go a couple minutes. We'll do Spirit Strength, then we'll let it go a couple minutes, and we'll do Turtle, and et cetera, et cetera. Space out the buffs a little bit so we're not always having to cast all of them and drain all the mana. All right, I'm expecting that respawn. There's also the roamer that either hasn't respawned or that was the guy we killed before. Okay, this guy actually looks like he cleared out these, so we could just go for it. I'm going to tell Max to guard here. Let's see if that next room is cleared out. If so, we'll just kind of ride on the coattails here. Okay, this is cleared out, so let me pull Max up here. Looks like that guy that was running ahead of us. The problem is now I don't know where exactly the spawns are, and that could be frightening. But Max is up here. Why don't we chill in this room for a minute? Let's look at the map. We're in the bedroom. And that's the water we came through. All right, we got to respawn. Let's take care of whatever spawns in here, and then we'll kind of learn the spawn pattern in this room. I vaguely remember, but not exactly. Since everything's clear. Okay, so there's the one. I knew there was one right by the water. I knew for sure we were going to have to deal with that guy, and apparently there's one right on top of me. Okay. We've got 3. Oops. Get back out of the water. And this guy needs to be slowed still. This is what I thought was in this room. I thought there were 3. We're going to be good, I think. Got a big heal. Max is very strong right now. I'll go ahead and throw Tainted Breath on each of them just to work them down. And of course, I'll pull aggro on him. Why not? Alright, there's that guy that's clearing. Should make sure he knows I'm not trying to steal spawns if you're working on this room, but there we go. They're back on max. So if I split out this spawn, I mean the 3 here wouldn't be bad, and there's probably stuff, you know, around the corners. I know there's bats over here somewhere. I see he killed a wizard out that way. I believe this room is like, this is like a bat room, right? Yeah. Those bats, actually, those bats are going to be a lot like the spiders, I bet, where because we're a Beastlord, they are not aggro, like off the bat. That could be awesome for XPing in that area. Much like the spiders, we could just kind of, you know, if we need to med up for a long time or something, we could just do it because they weren't aggressive like that. So let's get our spirit strength buff out and go ahead and get turtle memorized. And I will hit max with another heal here. So quite a step up in power, though, the fact that we're able to take on 3 of these spawns. That's just wild. Let's double check max buffs. Looking good, and we can grab turtle and have that ready to go. So I can see over here that there are the bats. Let's just check on these guys. Yeah, they're just dubious, so we can actually run right past these bats. But I see there's a wizard this way, there's a Shin Knight that way. But if we find one of these areas where we have bats that we can like pull individually or whatever, that could be pretty awesome. Okay, so if we want to get towards the Minotaur Elder, like I said, I don't know if that goes through or this, but like this hallway seems to be our best bet, which comes back to here. So I kind of need to go this way. And now the spiders themselves actually could also be awesome if they're not aggro. I can't click him through that. Okay, so they are scowling ready to attack. So those spiders are not our friends. Let's go ahead and pull it. I will med up. This little spot right here, depending on where this Ghoul Knight is normally, or if he's in that room and runs, or whatever he is, this might be a good little spot to meditate, because that spider was far enough back that he won't aggro, and the bats are friendly, or dubious. But this could be a good spot to kind of work from to continue clearing. Yeah, he gets weak poison on him from these guys. I think that's fine. I don't think I'm going to do anything about that. Oh, nice. And it runs towards me, which is better. Run towards the bats. Alright. I imagine more spider silk for us, of course. Let's continue on. I don't know if someone cleared these spiders or there's just not that many. I also feel like if that spider is here, we could probably sit over here safely also. See if they roam at all. I'm going to get a little bit of mana. And actually, for this one spider, we won't need mana. There's a room coming up called Spider Room, which sounds not great. But we'll see what's there. And I don't know what this looks like here. It looks like we can follow all the way around and kind of come through here. And that takes us back up towards the Minotaur Elder. I'll have to relearn that area. Usually when I run through the Minotaur area, it was always just to get to somewhere else or to help someone get a corpse. So I'm doing the old learn the dungeon as I go again. So bring this guy in. Have Max tear him up. So I'm still playing a lot of Monsters and Memories. I talked about it last episode quite a bit. Less this episode so far. But while we're killing spiders, I'll talk a little bit about it. Gotten a lot of... a few of my friends have gotten into the beta. So it's been cool to actually be grouping with some friends and hanging out. Wreck-It Rogue's over there now, so I'm able to hang out with him a bit in-game and do some shenanigans. We're going to have some Everquest shenanigans coming up. A group of us getting together. There'll be more about that coming around, but a lot of fun things going on. Since they extended out the early access for Monsters and Memories out to October now, October 1st instead of June 1st, I had started to take kind of a break from the beta a little bit just because I was like, well, I can break from it for like a month or whatever until they start early access and be ready to go. I'll just do that. And then let me get this buff up. So with it going out to October now, I'm thinking I'm just going to put some more time into the game. So I had been keeping myself, from leveling above like level 10 or 12. And I have a bunch of guys sitting around the level 9 to 10 range, a bunch of guys at the level 6 range, just trying out the classes to get the early feel of what they're like. I got my monk to level 12 and I kind of paused him there. That was where the last of the monk skills came in. And I didn't really want to see all the dungeons and all the zones. I just figured I'll just make my permanent character in EA and go. But since we're extended so much and I still really want to play the game, I'm probably going to pick one or two guys and really start pushing further into the game and playing some more. I'm thinking about actually recording some of the play to show some of the early game stuff and to talk about some of the starter quests and stuff, because I think the starter quests for each class have been phenomenal overall, and I'd like to showcase that a little bit. I'm debating on what to play, so there's several classes I haven't actually played yet in beta. And I know there's some class changes coming up and stuff like that, but interested in really giving the Inquisitor a run, which is a kind of a warrior fighter hybrid with an enchanter. So some of the crowd control spells and mind type spells of an enchanter, but as a tank. I have already played Shadow Knight. I've already played Monk. I've already played a few. The other one that might be interesting is a Bard. I've been wanting to... I pushed a Bard to level 5 or 6 in one of the early playtests, but I haven't gone back to it in beta since some things have changed. I might give that a push. Or maybe actually try one of the casters. I'm usually not a big caster player, so I might try that or another Beastmaster, which I haven't played since one of the early one of the playtests either. So one of those, I might start out and record some of the footage and talk about it. And we'll see. So, okay, I got quickening going back on Max here, though. Let's get back to EverQuest here. I just want to get up to full mana, but that spell is costly. Let me see if I can pull... I'm sure I'm going to pull all these guys, but let's see what happens. Oh, that is a lot of spiders. Okay. I thought it was 3. Let me pull Max into the room here. Alright. Have at him, Max. Yeah, they're going to do too much damage to me to be in there. Max is going to be way better at tanking those than I am. Alright, so let's... Right. I can tab through them. Let's get a slow on another one. Come on, heal. Maybe just go ahead and hit him again. Yeah, this might be bad. I was hoping he would get one down quickly, but it looks like he's splitting all of his damage up, so... I guess I can put a dot, but I don't have too many more of those heals in me, so... You have to debate when is it time to run. I think it's time to run. I don't know if I'll make it out if these guys aggro on me, but we'll see. Oh shit. That might do it. Oh, I am bonds of force slowed. Yeah, there's all the spiders. Okay. All right. Well, I know not to pull that spider room. We have learned a lesson. So let me regroup. I will run back down. I won't make you guys watch the run back again from good old Grobb all the way down to Guck. But I will get my spells memmed. I'll get back down to lower Guck, get maxed out, and we'll do some corpse recovery. There's the old wiggle waggle in case you were missing it. And we will come back after that. All right, made our way back in here, and I didn't turn back on recording, but I cleared out the first three guys, and ran down. I was able to grab my corpse and pull it up here. So we will get re-equipped here. I lost about 8% total. Probably gained like a couple percent back while I was clearing real quick, but I think we were at 14% when we died, and we're back up to 6% into the level. So now we're geared up. We're still pretty well buffed. Max is missing the quickening buff, but I think that's okay. So we will get some mana up here and give it another shot. I think it might be tricky getting... We went into that room through the water, and there were the 3 guys in there. We ended up fighting all 3 of them at once, so I'm not too worried about taking them on as long as we go in with pretty good resources, but... it was kind of easier last time because someone had cleared that whole area. So even with runners, we weren't getting extra ads and stuff. So there's the potential that as we keep trying to break into that direction, going in that direction, that we'll keep running into issues with those guys. I think what's going to happen is we're probably going to find ourselves at just a camp. We're going to move down to there and then camp in that area, maybe kind of next to the spiders, in between the spiders. So we can kind of pull a spider on either side. Plus there was the one frog lock we could pull, and then we could always grab bats as well if we need to. So that might end up being where we kind of set up camp. Another option is to go down here and go left and go to the room at the end on the left and just camp in there. So if we go down inside and go to the left, there's a room with like 3 spawns in it, plus a couple in the hallway. We could just keep grinding out there, but I'd like to try to make some progress further into the dungeon. A third option would be to come in from a different direction. So we could come in from another entrance from Upper Guck. We could come in over here near the Minotaur Patriarch. We could... this is where you can go back out to the swamp, but it's not, you can't enter from there, as far as I remember, but I could look up some of these. So there's the Noble, there's a Crusader, there's a Priest over here. So if these look more doable, maybe we'll try to figure out how to work in this area. And you could, so this is where we're coming in now. So there's a couple different entrances into Lower Guck from Upper Guck, and we can explore some of those as options. So we're at 71%, so I'm going to go ahead and move down before these respawn, and we can continue working down this way. Well, we know there's a spawn right around the corner here. Oh, I had Max on guard duty up there. There we go. We'll work our way down this hallway, try to keep mana up. I'm not going to put the quickening on to max yet, as it's very expensive mana-wise, and I want to be able to keep kind of moving through here. And he's not taking a ton of damage, so we'll want to keep our mana up for when we do need to slow or heal or anything like that. Let me make sure everything... Yeah, okay, so stuff didn't go back into my correct hands here. That happened to me before, and I missed it. So, I forget which is... looking like the dagger should be in the main hand. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to fight this wizard. So, amusingly, we're going to get faction. Ooh, I do not want that. Oh, no, no, Max, come back. Okay, I've made a terrible error. I forgot I still had Max on guard duty up there, so when I told him to back off, he was running all the way back to the entrance. So I put him on follow now, so he won't do that. But should be alright. Let's slow the wizard. Oh, that ghoul knight is going to join in. Okay, let's slow that guy too. Didn't know if you'd pat all the way down here or not. Oh, and a third. Okay, we're going to head out. We'll reapproach this. No big deal. Took the chance when I went down there without, when I wasn't sure on the respawn coming back up yet. So we'll approach it a little bit cleaner and still head down and do the same thing. Step inside here, get ourselves shrunk, and get Max healed up. We'll mana up real quick and work our way down. So let me get that all cleaned up, and we'll check back in a second. All right, we are meted up. We still got our buffs going. I'll double check Max's buffs here real quick. He's looking good. We'll clear our way back down. I killed this guy a minute ago, so he's already down. He's likely to respawn any second here and make this whole thing difficult, but we'll go ahead and pull this guy down here, and we'll deal with the consequences if needed. So we may end up with like 3 guys total here. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can back Max up just enough to keep this guy in here too. Yeah, see, for me to not get hit, I'm gonna have to be out here, and then this guy's gonna respawn. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. You never know. Let me switch Max over to this guy if we can get him on there. Oh, I need to switch. I'm trying to do corpse drag instead of my kick. Switch that up. Just keep an eye out here that I'm not getting sideswiped by this other guy, who I expect to spawn anytime now. Get back in here, Max. Nope. Max always wants to go to the other guy who's hitting him in the back. I want him to stay on this guy to help kill him real fast. Tell him to keep focusing here. Stay with me, Max. Stay with me. Alright, that guy's down. The other guy didn't spawn yet, so we managed to basically get into a safe position before the other guy spawned. And if he spawned now, that's fine. We're at the end of the fight. And we'll just switch over and kill this guy too. Perfect. Let Max work on that guy while I heal up a little bit. Well, just not going to heal, but just regen a little bit. So while I was meditating, I did start up a 3D print that is running kind of in the same room with me here. So if you hear some noises in the background that may be coming through on the microphone, I don't know. If it's too bad, I'll just edit this whole section out of my voice and just kind of, we can just kind of time lapse it. But I don't think it'd be too bad. If anything, it's a little bit of noise as it's calibrating itself. So I have a Bamboo Labs P2S 3D printer. Thing's pretty great. Oh, we got a train. Time to go. That was what I was trying to do like a half hour ago. Woo! That was close. All right, let's get healed up a little bit. Oh no, not. I want to heal myself. Max is doing all right. They came by and gave me the old smackaroo. All right, headed back in. We are headed back in. We'll get shrunk again, and then continue our plan here. So I think this episode is probably going to wrap up at some point with me still figuring out all these pools and where we want to go. I think we hit kind of a hard stop with all those spiders. It's too bad they're not like it's too bad they're not non-aggro like the spiders previously. But you know, that's all right. We'll deal with it. I think we're gonna have to be a little stronger before we get to the point where we can actually take on a whole group of 4 of them, or 5, or whatever that was, unless there's a way to split them up. Now, what I don't know, unfortunately, is what other route we have to go. So this is that spider room. I think we came around here. We're kind of able to sit like right here on the map. So there's, you know, a spider here and then one up here, but we can kind of sit in between them, and it seems like a safe spot unless they pat through there, which we haven't learned yet. Then you have the spider room itself, and that's where we pulled all those spiders, and it went sideways. And, you know, then you can kind of continue on through here. Now, alternatively, we come into the bedroom. Instead of going up the spider path, we go the other way. So I think we're going to have to explore that other direction and just see, you know, what possibilities we have going the other way. There's no point in banging our head against that room of spiders every time. Oops, something coming behind. Okay. That's the other pather. It's good to get him now. Let's actually pull him back a little bit. Why don't you come up here, Max? Give him a little runway to run away when he's getting low. Alright. Take him from here. Okay, the next buff that will go low is Spirit of Monkeys. So let me go ahead and get that queued up. Just doing buff maintenance over here. I hear Wreck-It Rogue in his videos giving Skeleton some trash talk about sit ticks. Makes me want to be very conscious of my sit ticks. Make sure I get those ticks of mana. I won't give him as much of a hard time as Wreck-It. Skeleton, in my brief experience with him, it likes to plan. But yeah, go over and you can give his channel, check out his channel on YouTube as well. It's good stuff. He has a lot of very thoughtful in his gameplay and planning out how he's going to play and what his plan is moving forward. If you've been watching my videos at all, you know that I'm a kind of like, yeah, let's try to go over here, and then it always invariably goes sideways, and chaos ensues, and usually end up dying. I'm pretty patient with the running back, though. I don't mind too much. It's part of the game. It's part of figuring out what's going on. Probably why I would have a pretty rough ride if I actually tried like hardcore. Although I'm very tempted at some point to try a hardcore run. It's one of those things that seems like a completionist thing to do. Get a hardcore title for running a character all the way up to 60. I don't know what class I would pick for that. That might be worthy of a discussion. Definitely not a Beastlord who stays only in the swamps and hangs out in a dungeon where he doesn't have any kind of snare, so he's constantly being killed by things running and stuff like that. So this would not be a good plan. If I did hardcore, I would definitely come at it with more of a plan. I don't think you can you can do hardcore without having some caution and some kind of a plan put together. I guess you could if you got real lucky, but I think part of the fun in my mind would be to actually make the plan, right? So I'd approach it much differently than I've approached all of this with Greench. Greench, I knew what the plan was. I was staying here in the swamp, staying in Guck, or in Innothule, and dying is no big deal, right? Every possible place I'm going to be with Greench is within a stone's throw of Grobb, so I don't even need to rebind ever. Now, once I make 50 or a little beyond 50, and if I want to go do like we've talked about before, go to other swamps and actually take him all the way to 60, we'll have to look at rebinding somewhere. We don't want to be bounding Grobb and trying to run all the way back to somewhere in Kunark, or I don't think anything in Velius is set up for as a swamp. Maybe Luclin. I think Luclin. Maybe in Luclin we could look at a couple of the zones that might work. Actually, that might be. I'm gonna pull that up on a second screen here. Let me sit for a second while I pull that up. I'm just gonna pull up zone connections, so I can remind myself what all the zones are out there. Let's see. So we've got. I mean, there's Fungus Grove, which is arguably a swamp, right? That might be it. There's Hollow Shade Moor, which or Grimling, Grimling Forest actually isn't. It wouldn't be too bad either. So there might be some options to do up there in the moon, but still, Velius doesn't really have what I would consider a swamp zone unless I'm just missing something completely, and feel free to let me know. But Kunark, we've already talked about Kunark, right? There's a Swamp of No Hope. There's Trakanon's Teeth. You could even arguably say the Emerald Jungle. All of that kind of side of Kunark has some options for to be considered a swamp. So we'll think about that and how we want to go forward. I mean, the goal right now is just get to 50. I don't know which one I slowed, so that's not great, but we'll go with, I'll just re-slow this one in case he's not the one I slowed. That way I know I got both of them. Max is putting some thread on both, so I can hit them both with Tainted Breath. I might have to spend some time just cranking up my conjuration just so I can use the new poison spell. I think we're going to want some stronger damage, especially as we start chasing the named guys down here a little bit. I know, I think the Minotaur Elder is a cleric mob, so we're going to want, may need to overcome some healing there, stuff like that. So it'd be good to have some bigger guns to bring to bear. I'm gonna help finish this one off. Max turns away. I'll just step back and let Max finish him. But Max is. I don't know. Max got stuff going on. Freaking floating gator, man. And now he's stuck in the floor. Oh, there he goes. He leveled out. I'm gonna heal myself up a bit because when I swim down this hallway, I want to be full health, I think, so I can make sure I get back. Oh boy. I thought Max would take him out pretty quickly, but there you go. Max got him. Let's bring him back in case he has... I don't know if he pulled anything extra, but we will find out when he gets back here. Okay, so I'm going to put Max on guard here. And I'm going to take the dive and swim up. Now, that guy just ran past us, and he may have just cleared these out completely, which will make this a lot easier. Yeah, okay, so that guy cleared out. So we're going to... Last time we went this way, and we kind of went up by the spiders. And I think what we want to do is go this way, right? And see where that takes us and what our safe spots are going to be. So it looks like we can kind of come around this way. We could hook, we'll go out this way, and here we'll get to the... Well, I guess we'll actually be below the safe hall, but we can come out to the bridge and head back up this way. That takes us to the spider room, or we can take this through the ladder. I don't remember if this is like a secret door, a one-way door, or what's going on there, but I think this is going to be our route. Now, we'll want to be careful not to run into some of these other things. We don't need the Ghoul Ritualist for anything, so let me bring Max up. And I think since this guy's kind of running ahead of us killing stuff, we're just going to follow him for a second. The worst that can happen is we die and run back. Max? Is he, I don't know if he's fighting. He in the room with me? There he comes. Let's see if anything follows him up here. Guess it just took him a second to swim. I don't know. Alright, so this guy was cruising ahead of us, and he is killing stuff. So let's just cautiously move ahead with him. Oh, we don't want to deal with that whole group of ice bones either. Ooh, that's... I don't think we can make it around that corner without pulling those. So we're hitting up against some hard stops here between this huge group of ice bones, one direction, and then we've got the spiders, the big spider room in the other direction. We might be looking at a hard stop on this entrance to Lower Guck as far as us being able to move in further. So that makes me wonder what route we should think about. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move us into the hallway here. We're going to, well, we'll kill this Ghoul Knight, and then we're going to kill the spiders for a little while. While we do that, I'm going to kind of do some research on the side. So I'll just do a bit of maybe a grind montage here while I'm also doing some research on the side. But I think we're going to want to look at, you know, we've been coming in this entrance and doing a lot of grinding, but I think we're going to want to look at a better way, or a different way. Something where we can get our way into a good camp. I think we're a little stuck here without some kind of invisibility as far as getting past either the spiders or the skeletons. So obviously if we had a group or a friend or something, we could work that out, but I think we're going to want to probably looking at coming in a different entrance. So let me make a plan. You know, this is where I need to. I was talking about Skeleton having good plans. Maybe I I need his map a map that shows like the safe spots that I'm going to camp in and where I'm going to kill mobs. But for now, I'll go with my probably less rigorous plan. Oh no, we don't want to get those skeletons. We're about to have a big mess. Luckily, this hallway's pretty long. Okay, we got him. So I'll put together a rough plan, probably not with a ton of details. Let me double check. We're missing... Yeah, we've got a buff down, so Spirit of Monkey's down. Alright, I'm going to get Max buffed up. We're going to do a little leveling or grinding montage, try to get up. We're up at 19% of the level now, but we're going to try to buffer that even a little bit more. We're going to do that by sitting between these two spiders and taking them on for a little while. We'll also learn a little bit about what this hallway looks like, if these guys path at all. I don't think they do, but so we can probably take the two spiders and we can take the guy that I just killed, and that'll be, you know, 3 mobs to work through for a little while. And these are light blues. We'll see what kind of experience they're giving here. So here we go.
Let's rock. Dance the rock, 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 shadoo-ba-doo, rock and roll, come on. Well, tonight's the night we're gonna dance a little rock and roll, rock and roll. Tonight's the night we're gonna blow the speakers out. Boop, boop, I want y'all to do the twist. Come on, I want y'all to do the twist. That's right. Come on, rock, 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 shadoo-ba, rock and roll. Yeah, yeah. All the bad girls and the greaser boys in the house. Bobby Soxers and the Teddy boys rock and roll. All the rockabilly girls, I want you on the dance floor now. Let me tell you why. 'Cause tonight's the night we're gonna twist the whole town round. Wow. Wop, bop, bop. Show some love for the cool cats in the scene.
changed my mind. I don't actually want to sit here and grind right now. I just did a whole bunch of that to get to level 39. So I think instead we are going to clear our way back out of here, get out of Lower Guck, get into Upper Guck, and make our way around to the live side entrance to Lower Guck. We're going to set up there, stage up for our next adventure, and we will come into Lower Guck in a different direction, and we'll make a new plan and see what we can get to, because here we're kind of stuck, kind of sandwiched between the spiders and those ice skeletons on the other side. So we're always going to just kind of be stuck in this area, and I'd rather do more exploring than that. If we get over there and we try it out in the next episode and nothing looks good, then we'll just come back over here and we can easily find a spot to grind it out. So I think this is going to be a better plan. Of course, eventually I will find a spot and just work on leveling again. But right now, I'd rather take a little time to explore further. I'm actually going to kill the one that's further behind me so that we can pull this further up one back afterwards and have a better shot at giving it some run space before it hits into something else that can add. So I just did some rebuffs. I'm going to med up to basically full, and we're going to give this a go, and we're going to fight our way out of here and come at it from a new direction. So we'll be right back when we get full mana. All right, we're not 100% mana, but I am raring to get going here. So let's just start with this spider. And I did get the Yekken's quickening onto max, so he's full buffed right now. We should do pretty well against this spider. I'll do my best to keep keep my mana up as much as I can so that we don't have to stop for too long on the way out of here. Although there is that room of 3 guys that we're going to have to run through up there. That's probably going to be a pretty good mana drain. My fear is that in that room in particular is that the last one will run and we'll start to get the ads that are around the corner kind of towards those ice skeletons. So I may have to pull them back a little bit, maybe put Max on guard back here and pull back here, as long as I can do it fast enough that we don't... Ooh, no, that guy's going the wrong way. Last time he came back towards me. Well, we may be getting our ticket out of here much faster. All right, I'm just going to go for it. Yeah. Let me get my body to somewhere I can recover it easily is kind of my best plan at this point. Oh, that one guy's green there, though, so maybe we would have been in better shape. So we'll see. If I get stunned here somewhere, then we're pretty much screwed. So we'll see what happens. There's the stun. And likely a dual route, I would guess, coming my way. There we go. Okay, well, I said I was ready and raring to go. I just sped it up for myself a little bit. So now I can come down. This is an easy corpse recovery. We are only down to 16% in the level, so we we didn't lose too much. Oh, that sucks. I really thought that spider would run the other way, because last time we fought him, he ran towards around the other corner. And I guess I didn't pull him far enough into that little side hallway. And I should have pulled him in just a little bit more so that he would have switched which way he was going to run. But yeah, hey, lesson learned. That's on me. So let me get back in there. I will grab my body, get everything kind of set up, and then we'll make our way across. So I thought this was going to be, a good amount of time of crossing over, making my way out of Lower Guck and then up into Upper Guck and making my way across to the other entrance. But I just sped that up by quite a bit, actually, by dying, which I didn't want to do, but it's gonna shorten this this trip overall. But yeah, let me get in there, get set up, and I'll jump back in a second. All right, got my body back and looting it up right now. Not worried about a res, so just loot everything. And here we are at the entrance. Woo! Only had to kill one guy to get back in there and get my body, so all good. So what we're going to do now is head back out into Upper Guck. And now in Upper Guck, where we want to make our way to, let me zoom in on the map a little bit. We are over here. I want to come across to this entrance here, I believe. This entrance here, this one. Yeah, I think these up here are both also the same side we're on now. They just come into different parts. I think we want this one here, so we will, you know, cut across kind of through the bridges and make our way down. And I've zoned out here before when I was up exploring this area, when I was going to kill the ancient croc. I kind of explored this area and I accidentally zoned out here, so I do remember this spot. I want to say it's this zone line. We'll get there and we'll look. If not, maybe it is one of these and I'm just wrong about where these go. Because I'm pretty sure if you look at the map for Lower Guck, both of these water ones go into the side I was just on. Let's do it. We're going to make our way across. All right, we'll go ahead and kind of reset the map here. Just zoom in a little bit. And we'll fight as needed. I think a lot of stuff we can just run past at this level. So I'm going to take the most direct route, which is this way, and just see if anything... Okay, they do still aggro. Let's reset that, now that I know that those guys still aggro. Alright, zone back into Lower Guck and then back out. We'll go the slightly longer way then, and that way if we get fights, we'll pretty much have single fights instead. Where did... I lost Max. He's stuck on something? There he is. Went into the void zone or something. I don't know where he ended up, but all right. So these guys should be fairly easy fights. We'll just work our way through them. Let's see. We only have a couple of buffs on us right now, so let's just kill this one. Every time I come through here, it's annoying. I don't know how many levels I need to make to where these just stop trying to kill me, but I haven't gotten there yet. So whatever the number is, it's not 39, even though I've been coming through here since, you know, early 30s. But it's all right. A little fighting won't hurt us. Plus, we need to show these froglocks who actually owns the swamp, right? They're getting a little uppity. They think it's their swamp. I'm reclaiming Guck for the swamp monster. Alright, so we'll kind of take this long loop around so we don't have to fight like 8 of them at once. And honestly, let's just fight. Let's just fight. I'm probably going to get an ad because I'm sitting down, but let's see, we've got Ox. Yep, there it is. Alright. Just means this guy won't run. We'll do Spirit of Monkey next. Alright, let me throw Spirit of the Monkey out on us. Though I don't want to get my mana too low. I want to be able to handle a fight if I need to. A bigger fight. If it's just one at a time, we can mow through them pretty well. We will clear the way. So we're going to head... Max, get that guy. We're going to head up, looking at the map over here, we're going to head up into this little bridged area. And we want to come out like we're going, basically like we're going towards the ancient croc. And when we get out to this section, we want to skirt along the wall and to the second bridge section and then come out here. Hopefully that will set us up for a whole new set of exploration and figuring out, you know, what we can get to, if there's any named spawns we can try to camp. We've been in the leveling process for a little while, other than going after the Shin Lord. Otherwise, we've mostly been leveling, so it'd be cool to chase a little bit of loot again. We did a good job of working our way through or most of the named spawns down in Upper Guck, and got some loot out of it. We've got a few things. I'd like to do the same in Lower Guck. Start looking at what our camps look like and where we want to spend our time. Let's see, I'll go ahead and prep up strength, I think. Strength is a little cheaper, so I think we can go ahead and buff that. Get Max doing even more damage. Never have too strong of a pet. Alright, we're coming around to the first bridge area. Instead of messing around, we'll just kill. Just fight through. I remember when this was like a scary spot because I think there's like 3 guys out there on the bridge. Now they're all green. Actually, I think we'll probably just swim around, run around the edge there. I don't remember. I think I tried that before and they didn't end up pulling them, the guys down below, so we could dive down and pop up on the other side swimming and probably get away with it. It all comes down to how annoying do I want it to be if everything attacks. Nice, so I can pull singles here anyway. We'll just clear it then. No sense in making it weird. It's like in WoW, if you do, in World of Warcraft, if you do Mythic Plus at all, people always want to do crazy skips and stuff, and I am not a fan. I've tanked for years, and I almost always make my routes with no skips, or the skip has to be so simple that when everybody dies and has to run back, you don't have this stupid problem of everybody getting stuck where you need some tricky rogue thing or a warlock gate or whatever it is. I'm not a big fan of skips. Just prefer to take the couple extra seconds and kill the stuff. It almost never is the difference between whether we time a key or not. I feel the same way in Everquest. It's always safer to kill everything so nothing is at your back. Although I'm on a WoW hold. I was starting to get back into raiding in this current expansion, and I'm just not enjoying keeping up with the maintenance. So I'm kind of backing out of raiding right now. Pretty much saw the first raid. I didn't finish it in Heroic this time, and just kind of burned out even before I got to that point. So it tells me it's a good time to be on a break. And between playing EverQuest here with Greench and looking forward to the EQ Legends beta, if I can get into that, and then also just putting a lot of time into Monsters and Memories right now, since they pushed out the early access. I think all of that's going to consume a lot of my time that I have available to play. And of those things, World of Warcraft has been the least fun. One of those things where I really want to log in to hang out with the people in my guild and the friends there, but I have friends scattered across several games now, and I'd like to also play something that's fun for me. I remember we camped these shaman, this one and the one that roams up from down there for a while. Good experience. So I'm recording this part of this on Friday. So Monsters and Memories beta keys went out today. If you're someone looking forward to that, I hope you get it. I think EverQuest Legends at some point today also launches their beta and is sending out beta invites. So a couple things to look forward to today for people that are interested. All right, see, we're getting this guy's light blue. We could just make a run for that, but I think the best bet is going to be to just deal with these fights. It's like I can almost talk myself into it, into just making the run for the zone. But I'd end up dying on that run, and the whole thing would just get dumb. So we worked our way through these guys in the past and tried to set up a camp there. We did fight around here with some help, with some druid buffs for a little while. We went kind of down into the area. Actually, it was on the last set of where the other water was. We fought in that area and then down into the kind of caves or caverns maze over here. We did that for a little while one night. That was a good time. So we have spent our time in Upper Guck. I can get around in Upper Guck like nobody's business at this point. And that's kind of my goal with Lower Guck as well. You know, right now I'm going in and I have some half memories and some vague ideas and all that stuff. But by the end, I would really like to just know it inside and out. And do that by slowly crawling through all the hallways. Alright, what does Max got? He's got... The only thing he doesn't have right now... Turtle skin. Well, let's get that. And his quickening buff, but that's like half my mana to cast that sucker, so... We'll save that for later. Still fizzle the turtle skin every once in a while. Fizzles can be pretty harsh here on Quarm. I think it's a little bit to do with the leveling speed compared to the skilling up speed. So we're able to level pretty quick here, especially if you have, you know, with the bonuses in the dungeons or in certain zones, and then also you have the experience pots, and then people that are out on Luckland, they get the big bonus to experience 200%, I think. I can't remember if it's 200% everywhere now, or if it's just out there. I remember there was talk about that. Either way, we level a little bit faster than standard EQ, and I think it can cause a rough mismatch between the skill level of your skill level of your spellcasting abilities. I think it can cause a big mismatch between the skill level of your spellcasting abilities. There we go. Get it all out in one sentence. And the actual what's required to cast the spells without fizzling. So people end up in this spot where they're kind of like their actual character level is getting out ahead of their skills, which can be a problem. It still makes you stronger, but then it's like you gotta, I don't know, you either have to do some side work to level those skills, or we got two here, but I don't think it should be a problem. That shaman is going to be casting, so maybe I'll just help attack him a bit. Oh, see, Max has already got the weaker guy down. We're real close here. We're clearing this little island. We'll get the other guy off there real quick, and then we'll head into this ruins of Old Guck, and we'll see if we'll take a look at the map when we get in there and make sure that I actually navigated to the correct place. Again, this is stuff I'll know like the back of my hand here by the end of our journey in Guck in the next 10 to 15 levels. Actually, I don't know how high you could actually go in Lower Guck. I mean, back in the day, it was, you know, if it was an endgame camp, right, in the early days. So you could stay there at 50. Just not sure. And a lot of those camps, even at 50, required groups. They weren't soloable necessarily. Or not by every class anyway. So I feel like there's a good chance you could level further in to 50s without even leaving Guck. Now, I might get to 50 in Lower Guck and say, hey, that was the initial goal of the whole thing, was to make level 50 staying in the swamp. And then decide to go explore the other swamps of the world. I mean, it partially might be because I'm tired of being in Lower Guck. We'll see. Or maybe it's worth staying there, especially if I'm camping something that I want to get loot from. Mana's okay. Buffs are okay. Yeah, let's just go for it. Get these both slowed. I mean, the zone line's right behind these guys, so... Might actually need to heal up, Max. We'll see. Yeah, over in Monsters and Memories, I'm starting to connect with more people. There's more people getting in that I know. So it's been kind of cool now. I've got a lot of characters sitting. I talked before about in that kind of low level range up to about level 12. Able to hook up with some other people. We've had a group running yesterday over on Slayheim with streaming, and a bunch of us were able to jump in a group there for a little while with Classic Everquest, Skeleton, and we had a few others in there. And it was a good time. And those guys actually showed me a new zone over there that I hadn't seen before. Just a little mini dungeon, the Infested Crypt, which was super cool. It had some neat mechanics, like the bigger spiders summon in little spiders, and then there's some poison and stuff. So interested in getting over there to check that out some more. So I have 2 good adventures going on here. One, kind of relearning and learning Lower Guck and figuring out, Greench's path, and then still exploring Monsters and Memories quite a bit. I'm very interested in EverQuest Legends, mostly from the standpoint of I'm very interested to see how they implemented it. I liked the way they did the hero's journey as a kind of power fantasy of just being able to destroy everything. I like the opportunity to add more kind of self restrictions if you want to do like single class or 2 class to see how far you could get with things. That was kind of cool. Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity there for good fun. And even self-imposed fun. I say it with air quotes, fun. All right, here we are. We are at the zone line. Let's check it out. Yes, this is where I was looking at on the map previously. So this is where I was coming in before. This is those 2 waterways into that same side. And then I wanted to come in over on this side. I think if we look, I can make my way in. I could fight in this safe hall for a while. I can go after the Minotaur Patriarch, and I can still come around and try the Minotaur Elder from this direction. Now, it depends on what's in our path, because again, like I found in the other side, I was blocked by a couple of pools that I just can't handle. But ideally, if we can make it through most of this, there's a lot. We can fight Minotaurs out here. We can fight things, and we could even make it into the Evil Eye and look at getting our loots from the Evil Eye. I don't think the Mana Rock works for Beastlords, but the bag will. And I was just talking at the beginning of this video about weight reduction bags and how we don't have any. It'd be cool to get some. So that's there's an opportunity there to get into the Evil Eye likely and get that too, and then start looking at these others. But for now, we're just going to peek around this corner. What are we working with here? So I know a lot of people have set up over in this area before to do some camping. And like I said, you got the safe hall up there. You got a light blue frog-like Shin Knight. So we're gonna back up to the zone line here, and I'm gonna call it here for this video. And when we pick up in the next episode, we are gonna start our exploration. We're not looking for a place to camp out and just grind experience yet. We're looking to do some exploration and actually see if we can get near any of these boss or named mobs and try to get some loot. We'll give it a good run. I actually don't even know what the Patriarch drops. I'd have to go look. Probably nothing for a Beastlord, but still worth conquering, right? If we want to knock off all of these named spawns. And we'll figure it out. But for now, I'm going to sign off, and we'll pick it up here next time.
Pixels light the way, another quest begins through the dungeons, deserts, and the cyber winds.
Hey everyone, Sigil here. Hopefully you're enjoying our forays into Lower Guck, and they shall continue in the next episode. If you'd like to see more, go ahead and make sure you hit those YouTube buttons so you can be alerted when the next one comes out, and I'll see you there. Thanks for watching.
No looking back, controllers in hand on the right track. We're streaming dreams, making worlds collide. 1,000 voices cheering worldwide. Level up, let's rise and play. Through the night and into the day. From the pixels to the stars above. Gaming together, we're powered by love.